attack offensively. Duke's defense is what stands out.
Well, I think Duke needs to figure out their midfield punch.
Will Lynch and Jake Naso from two rival Long Island high schools. One of the subplots when these two teams play. Duke.
Hobson, big number 8 in blue, covered by a short stick.
Chris Kavanaugh working on Henry Bard. Kavanaugh's the team's leading scorer. Faceon plays for the Notre Dame football team, a wide receiver, MVP of the Sun Bowl. Here's Pat Kavanaugh, and he gets the scoring started for the Fighting Irish.
You can't give this offense second chances. A missed opportunity in terms of Duke closing the door and getting the ball to their offensive end. You see right here, Jamison makes this save, but Kenny Brower, he corrals it, but he goes in the crease, so then it's in and out, and now it's all Pat Kavanaugh.
One of the strengths in Pat's game is his positional versatility. He can dodge from the low spots on attack. He can also take the...
You've got Dyson Williams, one of the great goal scorers in the history of Duke lacrosse. Here's Andrew McAdory, the speedy midfielder. Over to the wing, and the freshman Max Sloat, the lefty, the red shirt, gets Duke even.
Way too easy for Duke. McAdory is last out of the substitution box. He's the party starter.
He is, and you see the speed, the straight line speed. We saw so much of that of Andrew McAdory as a freshman in 2022. When he comes out of the box and it is a foot race, he wins. Notre Dame knows they need to support that matchup. Max Sloat. Such a big part of their game. Payback on the defenders when they're clearing.
And Notre Dame will get it back. The Irish working their second midfield in. Riley Gray, 17. Will Angrick, number 10. And Max Buzenkill, who Kevin Corrigan has dubbed Luka, like Luka Doncic. He says he's not going to beat anybody, but he finds a way. Pat Kavanaugh against Kenny Brower. All-American against All-American. Kavanaugh turns, fires, and he's got a second.
Here's the riding opportunity. They just hunt. That could have been a push with possession from the rear, but these referees letting them play today.
I like the variety of Pat Kavanaugh's dodges. His first goal was on the other side of the field. He's dodging Kenny Brower, who's so comfortable behind the cage in that goal line, extended a lot up top, kind of getting him.
And 15, two freshmen on that first midfield. Part of the reason, if you play them on the second midfield, there's a chance they get the pole, at least one of them does, and Duke wants them to work against shorties.
Natural grass surface here. They had a lot of rain last weekend.
Here's Dyson Williams, one of the best finishers in Duke history. He's top 5 in goals. Give him one more, the 188th of his career.
Duke's offense this year has been dodge, score a goal, or dodge, feed Dyson Williams or Brennan O'Neill. I have not seen very many multiple pass goals, but the alley dodge draws the slide. It's just a late second slide.
You know, Ben Johnson's only a freshman, too. I've been impressed when you watch him on tape, his ability to feed off the dodge. Dyson Williams scores probably 9.
Over to O'Neill, feeding inside. Sawada denied by Entenmann. Stick of Buzenkill. Taylor will retrieve. Shot clock down to 7. Down to 5. Kavanaugh puts his body into the defender, and that's going to be a shot clock violation.
Fans love it.
Defense.
Yeah, fans love it. This game to ramp up. You sense that in the first quarter.
Notre Dame 15 out of 20 with the extra man this season. That is absurd.
Yep. Got to watch 13 in blue. He's a crease manipulator.
Make it 16 out of 21. Devin McClain with the man-up goal. And there's still plenty of time on this extra man, so now Notre Dame faces off 3-on-2.
This unit cashes in at 75%. This man up comes because there's a ton of heat between these squads. They met on the final Monday in May a season ago. Pat Kavanaugh doesn't like it. Duke goes into the box, and the Brown transfer, Devin McClain, stinging it high.
Rotation. Somebody's going to have an outside shot.
Or the backsides.
You can see how much attention Taylor's drawing in the interior. Dobson and Pat Kavanaugh play catch. Now the ball movement, the wing shot, McClain, saved by Jamison.
Duke seems so stubborn to run their team offense when the easy thing to do is get the ball to O'Neal and then play your team offense off of him.
Booze and kill against O'Connor. Chris Kavanaugh gets inside. Great trail check by Gray. Off the ground, Carpenter. He's a vacuum.
Good help inside from the Duke D. They got trailers here.
Yeah, they had Frizzoli, who's capable as a long pole.
Around him, he was the most outstanding player in San Diego, so his skill set and what he brings to the table is unmatched.
Now, the three of us left San Diego last summer going, whoa, Duke's going to be a problem for everybody in 2024. Face on against Wilson, now Dobson. Can he hunt against the short stick? Dobson feeding Taylor, twister not there. Brower vacuums.
Good D by Carpenter inside, and Brower there to clean up the loose change. They only scored 4 goals in that loss to Syracuse in the Dome.
They shot 24% in the last 4 games.
Not seeing multiple pass goals. That is dodge, pass, 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 shot, goal.
Zawada's got the short stick face on. Conlon got a stick on the pass.
Everything's either a dodge to a shot or a dodge to a jamming it to a teammate for the shot. You need to see.
Last year, Charles Balsamo was a big fixture in the offense. A lot of times getting a short stick. He has the ball now. I think we need to see more of a dose of him. Get him involved too, because I think as a freshman last year, he was phenomenal at times.
Gutsy. Game winner against Syracuse. Here he is. Great change of direction, strong left hand.
Picked up by Light. That means Zawada's got the shorty, feeding to Nenza. Bang! Duke got the switch. That got Notre Dame out of sync, and the Blue Devils capitalize.
And that's the passing that these fans in Durham love to see. Starts with sloppiness from Notre Dame. Ramsey on the clear. Carries up left-handed. I mean, that's right in the breadbasket. That's a play you got to make.
And then you have a dose of Charles Balsamo, who starts this play. And then it's tic-tac-toe.
He was excited. I got to spend a lot of time with him down on the field, as you guys did. I asked him, I said, you still get pumped for these games? He goes, oh, yeah, I still feel it. I got to stay away from my guys pregame. Don't want to give them any vibes either way.
Man-up opportunity for Duke. McAdory to Denenza. Trying to feed Dyson Williams, and Dyson Williams cashes in. His second of the game, his 7th man-up goal of the season.
Duke faithful loves it. Sellout crowd at Koskinen. Quint, look at the shot location on this one.
Denenza, top of the arc. Dyson just flashes towards him. He's really covered well, but the shot goes from a high release to the offside low corner. This is a thing of beauty.
Oh, yeah. That
changes levels. 3/4 arm release. It pings.
Hands defense. Those defenses aren't even as well equipped as a 20th or 30th ranked team in college lacrosse. That's the reality of it.
You notice when you always say, with all due respect, there's usually not a lot of respect that follows. Just an observation. Here comes Pat Kavanaugh. He's got the short stick. O'Connor. Chris Kavanaugh kissed the stone. The Kavanaugh brothers team up for the 34th time in their career.
Those in green on their feet. Pat Kavanaugh now got 3 points in this ball game. Watch him draw the double team on the rollback. Able to get 2 hands on the stick. Finds his brother, who singes a corner. This view will be scintillating. He's going to change levels.
Boy, that was awfully close. Watch the left side of your screen. That last goal, when it hits the crossbar.
Entire ball must cross the entire goal line. We do have video review. Easy call. No goal.
A chance here. Kavanaugh turns, fires, and scores. 4 points in the opening half. He's got a hat trick, and Notre Dame retakes the lead at 5-4.
Last year when I spent a day with the Kavanaughs and shot a piece for Through X, the Kavanaugh showed me a drill, how they catch the ball all different spots, and it's just constant releases from different vantage points. This is all in the backyard. It's understanding where the ball is, where the cage is. You know you're going to get a sure stick in a Pat Kavanaugh that can make a play from nowhere.
Dobson rhinos down the alley, now takes it back to X. Here comes Bayman. Got topside with the left hand. Chris Kavanaugh now back to Dobson. When he's got the shorty, it usually means a slide is coming. There it is, Carpenter. Taylor on the doorstep, looking for face on. Back to McLean, and that's too easy. Fulton Bayman on the wing. It started with Dobson getting the defense moving, and Duke was never able to recover.
They give Pat Kavanaugh a little breather. You got a guy coming off the Pines, off the bench. It was interesting, I was talking to Coach Ryan Wellner of Notre Dame about these type of big games, and I said they're usually won by roster guys 14 through 22. Like, who comes off your bench and can contribute? There's
Fulton
Bayman.
Yeah, this is a beautiful shot. I think this play is all developed by Eric Dobson. You're not going to see anything statistically from Dobson on this goal, but he was the one that drew the defense.
At Towson.
Yeah.
I actually think there's times where you want to put these shorties on the best middies because they win the leverage game. I think some of these guys have an easier time beating poles.
Pat Kavanaugh up top. Dobson unleashes a hammer but missed the mark.
Like the skip pass from Kavanaugh.
Here we go again. Kavanaugh and Brower. Two of the best at their craft. Little two-man game. Kavanaugh got free. McLean went back to set the pick. It gave Kavanaugh that opening. He's got 4 in the first half.
That is a ridiculous move.
Yes. Yes, it is.
He's got Brower in the wash, spinning back and forth, spinning back and forth. Watch the choreography and the footwork of Kavanaugh as he uses the pick and changes direction. It's one, come back, and then zigzag again. Brower's got the goal in his way, and he beats him to the goal line extended.
What impressed me the most about this is once he trips Brower.
It's like Henry Bard covering him now.
Dobson picked up by McGuire. Kenny Brower's got to deal with the other Kavanaugh. Chris with his right hand free. Upstairs, penthouse Parm. That's 5 unanswered for the Irish.
Everyone talks about the creativity of the Kavanaughs, and that's a fact. The other piece is Chris Kavanaugh's ability to shoot the rock with range. What he does here is once he beats his defender, he knows there's really no follow-up there, Quint. He actually has the time to set his feet. A lot of times when you start a dodge from up top and there's no switch or the switch is late, you continue down the alley to shoot. He knows there's zero pressure around him.
Against Penn, only had 1 goal in the loss to Syracuse.
Interesting, this weekend I covered the Penn State Hopkins game, and Jeff Tambroni talking about halftime adjustments and how important they are in this era of lacrosse where there's so many good teams. What can you do to change a game?
Tyler Carpenter off the ground. Here is O'Neal. Dumps it behind the cage to Dyson Williams, and Duke in a settled set. McAdory turns, fires. Entenmann got a piece of it. Battle here for the ground ball. Zawada and Light. And Zawada comes away with it. Now picked up by Napolitano.
Good look by Zawada, but man, that defense just collapsed, huh?
Andrew McAdory back to Duke. Fresh 80. Now it looks like they're making a concerted effort, though, to get 34 involved here in the second half. McAdory firing on the run, and that puts an end to a 5-0 Notre Dame scoring spurt.
We talk about Pat Kavanaugh's energy for Notre Dame. That's Duke's version of the Energizer Bunny. Andrew McAdory shot out of a cannon. We've seen 2 explosive moves. One was as a feeder, now as a shooter.
Right-handed rip on the run. He's got great acceleration. Lets that go before the double team can get to him, and the reset pays dividends.
You look at the location of the shot. That's one.
Players at any position in the country. Their coaching staff points to his emotional maturity, the fact that he can deal with the wins and the losses better, and his study habits. The film, the referee cadence, all the details.
It's the journey. They threw him in right away as a true freshman. He was the guy. He took his lumps.
Here comes Pat Kavanaugh, 4 goals already. Now Chris turns, fires, scores, and it is 9-5 Irish.
That stings because Duke does a wonderful job on the first Notre Dame push to the net. Watch the lift check under the lower glove and lift and just handcuffs the shooter. But guess what? His brother's there to back it up, and he beats Bard to the goal line extended.
That is very
Papendick got to step on Harris, finds a cutting Williams. Entenmann sends it back. O'Neal off the rebound, gets on the board.
We talk about shot location tendencies. When Brennan gets the ball up top, where does Entenmann typically sit? Low and away. This shot location by Brennan O'Neal is brilliant on a goaltender that knows him inside out. Gets the rebound here, corrals it. Entenmann in that low base, and he stings him high.
That was the best looking Duke possession we've seen all day. Playing with a bit of a sense of urgency, really sharp, putting pressure on this Notre Dame.
Hangs onto the ball, now has to retreat. Balsamo. Can't shake Ramsey. Denenza goal line extended. Denenza dusting 2 defenders. Right hand bouncer comes to Zawada. Feet in front, missed the cutter Williams. Donovan takes it the other way. Game rematch, Notre Dame leads 9-6. The Irish beat Duke on Memorial Day last year. Here's Taylor on the inside. He was sandwiched. Frizzoli chases it down, keeps it in play. Excellent job by Will Frizzoli. Lower scoring games in this conference than we're accustomed to.
I agree, and I think the same goes for the Big Ten, quite honestly, this year.
McAdory trying to go low to high, turned away. Entenmann the save. Long rebound near midfield. Parlett and Sloat, bodies flying.
Wow, what a play! What an incredible play!
Comes away with it.
Session. You gotta put a tab on that one, right? And just say, let's revisit this. What effort looks like.
You get to pick the first seat on the next road trip. Riley Gray will take O'Connor behind the cage. Gray turns the corner, missed the cage, and Duke wins the. Did that go in?
Wow.
Oh
That
my
thing
gosh.
painted the corner.
Ooh.
Shook the goal. Shook the goal.
I thought for a minute that might have gone in.
Wow. You see the net move, but the net move's gonna move when 100 miles an hour is smoking at you.
Denenza to Dyson Williams. Slam dunk. Second man up goal for Williams. 3 goals on the afternoon. And it's 9-7.
When you're smoking the ball from the outside, the defense knows to press on 34 and white. The problem is you have one of the best finishers in Duke lacrosse history, and Dyson Williams, and the Blue Devils aren't going.
Pythagorean theorem, right? Here's Chris Kavanaugh. Dips under, flips it back. Kavanaugh's got 4 goals. Jamison out of the cage. And then they get the empty net goal with McLean. Jamison came out, and McLean got to the spot.
Jamison going over the autopsy report with the rest of the defense, and I tell you what happens here is McLean's just too slick.
He is. He's been an incredible combination with Jake Taylor in the inside. Devin McLean, the grad transfer from Brown, scored the first goal of the game for the Irish on that beautiful right-handed rip on the extra man. This time, he's one of those players, like the subtle movements, right?
Two of them win a title. We've seen another last year have one of the great individual seasons in terms of accolades and hardware that we've ever seen in the sport. ACC Player of the Year, Tewaaraton Award, MVP of the World Games for Brennan O'Neill. So their paths have always been.
It gives you grief on draft.
Yeah, that's fine. I do agree with you. You have to dive deep.
Face-on shot stopped by Jamison. The quick outlet up ahead to Carpenter. He tracks it down. The trail check. Face-on. Carpenter so good off the ground. Almost had it. Now he gets it back. Carpenter fires and scores! He stayed with it all the way.
We're talking PLL draft, one of the spots, position-wise, that's the deepest is the LSM. Guys who wreak havoc from end to end, and this guy's been doing it for years, Quint.
There's a lot of coaches who would have called timeout when he comes up with this ball right here. Right here, he's in the box. Oh, give me a timeout, timeout, timeout. Now with Tyler Carpenter, you let that play out, because he is a threat in transition.
Now Ramsey can score. It looked like they were trying to get the switch. They get it back to Ramsey, feeding Taylor. Underneath, oh my, he missed the cage. I tell you, Jake Taylor, he's got a vast wardrobe of moves around the crease.
It's great offense, though, and it's great offense
Pick and roll by Ramsey, yeah.
And then you take it to the rack.
There comes Pat Kavanaugh. Over to Taylor, he gets sandwiched. Comes to Chris Kavanaugh, hums it high.
You got to be okay with those between the legs misses because they fall sometimes, and that's the mark of this offense.
Buzenkill gets top side. 11-8 Notre Dame.
Jake Taylor can a lot of these. It's the creativity, it's the green light of an offense to know you don't have to look over your shoulder, Quint, because you're going to get it again.
And then off the end line right now, if you're a Notre Dame fan. He's tangled up and he just lands on it funny right there.
Yeah, that's nothing on the defender.
And right away you see it's the right shoulder. I couldn't agree with you more. It's so much bigger.
This moment.
This
right
moment,
here.
yes. Because you hope that it's nothing serious. Because
goals today. He's camped out near the crease. Balsamo. Denenzo off the crossbar. On the rebound, Entenmann the save on the shot from Zawada.
This guy's ridiculous in the cage.
A lot of pipe shots, but then Entenmann, I mean, you got to hit corners against Liam.
Liam Entenmann goes down, and he's hobbling. Notre Dame's going to have to use a timeout. Entenmann is hobbling on the far side. The officials will stop play because the injury happened behind the play. Liam Entenmann, the All-American goalie. This sequence, Quint, bigger than the game for Notre Dame.
Kavanaugh's status is now he's coming back onto the field. Entenmann now, because they stopped the game, has to come out for a moment. And we're going to see Alex Zemp, the junior from Mineola.
Yeah, Zeph is one.
We'll take it out.
Duke's getting looks. Duke's suddenly getting looks.
Here comes O'Neill. He's got the short stick matchup with Ramsey. The Tewaaraton winner with his second goal and a fist pump. Duke within two.
What's so impressive about this move is a lot of times when you attack a short stick and you get underneath, you lose some of your line. But when you're 245 pounds of pure muscle, he keeps his angle here. Stays on the short stick. Ben Ramsey's one of the best in the country, but you're not moving that. And while he uses his strength, he brings the stick back to his left hand to keep that angle.
I can't say the same for him.
Duke a little deeper at the defensive midfield position from a short stick perspective. Notre Dame has the elite guys, but not as many.
Dobson's pass, it's tipped. Henry Bard has it. Trying to get it away from Chris Kavanaugh. Up ahead to McGuire. He's a threat in transition. 7 career goals. O'Neill. Skip pass. Frizzoli. Over to Zawada, crease feed, Dyson Williams, his fourth, and we've got a one-goal game.
Prettiest goal of the day for Duke. They run the trailer break to perfection.
Look at Brennan O'Neill here, the confidence that he has in Frizzoli. I think Frizzoli makes this play happen. A lot of times defensive midfielders will get a little anxious and want to shoot that. It's right to Zawada, who finds guess who on the backside. And when you want to beat Entenmann, you saw what he did last week. Just give him that extra.
Last year's national championship.
If you're Bayman, you want to get slippery. You do not want to get into the body of Jack Gray.
There's Pat Kavanaugh. McLean, Dobson, face dodge, Dobson fires, scores, Irish back on top.
People have been questioning his assertiveness when he's going to take over games. Well, he's picking a good time right now, Quint.
As a midi, when you've got a defender rushing at you with a high stick, great time, whoop, face dodge. Dobson, terrific move and finish. Game on. Friday?
I was not expecting Kumbaya coming from Q.
Tell you, as this game gets deep, though, the face-off, there was a discrepancy between Naso and Will Lynch, and now it's, whoa.
Oh, there's Jake Taylor, Major League from Pat Kavanaugh. Another assist for Kavanaugh, who's Notre Dame's all-time leader in that category, and the cushion is 2 for the Irish.
Kavanaugh looks like he's got a shoulder brace on now, the way he's celebrating. But we've been talking about the way Duke's defense in the first half didn't slide. Well, they're sending double teams now in the second half. And Taylor flashes from a high slot area. He cuts to the far post, and that's a spot feed to perfection.
Yeah, that look wasn't there in the first half. But I was getting at when run behind the back
with
at that velocity. Yeah,
and especially late in the shot clock. That was a good offensive possession.
They're trying to feed the crease there. Entenmann picks it off.
I like the movement, and I like the passing from Duke on that possession, quite honestly.
And the picking to get the switch for O'Neill.
So you got to give the ND defense a lot of credit.
Take a look at this BTB on the run. Left side of your screen. Losing the angle, going BTB is like shooting right-handed there.
Marked by Conlon.
We'll get a switch here. They've been successful getting the switch for O'Neill.
Zawada over to Johnston. His pass for O'Neill is knocked down. It was tipped, rolling toward midfield. Wilson tries to push it back on the offensive half. A chance for the Irish. Taylor, 1-on-0. Taylor all the way.
Jake Taylor, 1-on-1 with a goalie. Automatic.
That's something you see in sixes.
Taylor points back to his defensive mates. It's run out by Notre Dame. Good handle right here. It's Conlon, who was an investment banker during the fall, taking a job up in New York City, who said, you know what? I got one more shot to play college lacrosse. I'm going to exercise that right. And here he is with the long distance.
2 o'clock on the ACC network. Blue Devils down 3. They got to go quickly, and they need Naso to win faceoffs.
Entenmann's performance forcing a lot of these Duke shots wide.
We've seen it a lot. Great goalies, you tend to try to be too perfect. Sloat lets it rip. Duke within 2, and there's time. 1:03 to go. You've got Naso, who's won more faceoffs than any other Blue Devil.
Lefty rip to the opposite low corner. It comes down to faceoffs from here, Clark. Make it, take it.
Naso's been hot. To beat Entenmann, did you hear the pipe? Your shot has to be almost perfect. And Sloat just hammers this to the bottom corner offside. That ball is absolutely humming. But this is a face-off.
That May 5th in Charlotte, North Carolina, at American Legion Stadium, right?
Yep. You think about Virginia always would have that weekend off, right? It was their way of getting healthy.
Chris Kavanaugh will put it on the empty net, and that's the final dagger. For Kavanaugh, it's his 4th goal. his brother Pat, 4 goals and 3 assists. Those two have combined for 12 points today.
Notre Dame will be the team to beat from here on out. This will propel them to the #1 RPI. They've got to be unanimous #1 after this game. I'm not sure how Virginia's getting first place votes. People must not watch games.
If you look at Notre
Final seconds will tick off. McAdory with one final shot. Notre Dame prevails. They come to Durham and they knock off Duke at Koskinen Stadium. A game that was billed as a rematch of last year's national championship. It was 1 versus 3. The Irish led for most of this game, and they pull away with a 15-12 win. Next up for Notre Dame, a date with Cornell. Duke will take on Virginia next weekend in what should be another top 5.